Alright, this video I want to talk about looking for a trainer, instructor, martial arts instructor, trainer. I've trained for over 40 years in martial arts, various systems. I'm an instructor in a few different systems. I've trained with famous people, I've trained with fighters, I've trained with unknown people. So I think I can give you a little bit of advice here. One thing I would say is it doesn't matter what, as far as like if someone is famous or not, because that is a major thing I can tell you, is that the famous people I've trained with, not saying they're bad, they're good, but there have been unknown people who aren't famous at all that they are much better. They're a much higher level, even at in the same system even. One of the systems I've done for many years, is Wing Chun Kung Fu. And I've trained with some well-known people in those areas. And I've trained traditional, modified, Jeet Kune Do, stuff like that. So, and I had trained, the last person I had trained with just blew my mind away, because they were extremely on an extremely higher level than anyone else I'd ever trained with. Their knowledge, their ability, their feel, I mean, just everything. And they were totally an unknown person. So that's something to think about. Don't worry about fame. Okay, it's basically irrelevant. All right. In fact, you'll find, you can look this up, you'll find there are even famous people who have become famous that are frauds. They're complete frauds, So fame does not mean anything. Even if they're an ex-fighter, as a lot of fighters themselves will tell you, fighters are not, most of the time, the greatest teacher. So they're good people to get points off of, to understand some things, but generally they're not the greatest teachers, though. So that's one. Don't care about fame. That makes no difference. Another thing kind of goes along with that, and that is rank. Certificates and belts and rank, different kinds of rank. In some ways it's a good thing, because it can show, that's the key word there, can show how much time someone has spent training and how much dedication they put into it. And sometimes that is true with that person, sometimes it is not. Because something that I have unfortunately ran into and seen too many times, and I've even had people try to do it with me, is like sell rank. Sell it or trade it, I've had someone, and one of the guys I used to train, he was there with me, he can tell you, I've had someone try to promote me to a 5th degree black belt in their system, which I knew nothing about. So, keep that in mind. Rank and certificates, which can be faked, are not always a guarantee of a good teacher. Hopefully hopefully they're on the up and up, but don't just lay everything into that. All right, so those are some things to avoid. I would also say this when it comes to what to avoid, and that is someone that goes too extreme on one end or the other. And that, what I mean by that, like someone who is so intense and extreme in the training that people are like constantly getting injured and hurt all the time. You don't want that. I mean, the purpose in training is to be able to defend yourself. You're not going to be able to defend yourself effectively if you have injuries constantly. Injuries are part of doing any physical training, so but you don't want to constantly have injuries all the time. That should not be happening. But on the other end of the spectrum, you don't want someone who is just too easy going, someone who's not pushing you physically at all. So, you want to find someone that pushes you to a limit, but a reasonable limit. And another thing is finances, okay? Something that has really irritated me for the last, like, probably 8 years, 7 years, somewhere in there, is the amount that some people charge. I understand people trying to make a living and paying the bills and everything. I'm totally okay with that. I get it. I understand. We all have to make a living. But, when you look at, like, maybe everyone in your area, maybe they're charging $60 a month. Not really sure of all the prices different people are charging nowadays, but say someone's charging, most people in your area are charging $60 a month, and you go into a school and they say it's $300 a month. No, sorry. That's getting a little ridiculous there, I think, personally. If you're paying $300 a month, you better be getting some private lessons out of that also. So, and the reasons I say that, not only because you're spending too much, you're not being cost effective there, but that goes to show where that person's head is at. They're more, and like I said, of course, you have to make money if you're trying to do it as a business. Yes, of course. But, there's a limit of being reasonable there. So, if someone is so obsessed with the finances of it, they're probably not going to teach you quality, train you well. So some people, yes, sometimes, there's that saying, you get what you pay for. Yes. And in some situations, that's true. In martial arts, I would say that is not true. Not true. As I've said, the people I've trained with that are the best, the highest levels of people I've trained with, have either charged me $0 to train with them or very little. So if that tells you anything, because they care more about the art and the passing it on and the actual training. Of course, one of those persons didn't do it for a living. They just needed a training partner. So, but the other one had a very successful school and is still around. It's been around for many years, and he is reasonable, and he still makes a living. So it is completely possible. So, when you're looking for someone, just look out for those things and talk to the person. If you don't get to talk to them, if they want you to talk only to the students or something like that, talking to the students, hey, that can be good too. You can get a different perspective. But you want to talk to the instructor, kind of see how you get along with them and what you just feel about the person. And also, I'll make a whole different video on different systems I've trained in and stuff like that. But I personally don't believe that any system is bad. You'll see tons of videos on YouTube talking trash about different systems. Every system has something of value. Now, I do believe some are more valuable than others according to what you want, but every system has something of value to it. So just find an instructor in a system you think you're interested in. Doesn't mean you have to stay with them forever. Doesn't mean you have to stay with that system forever. Just fill it out, but and just make sure, you know, hopefully you have a good feeling about the teacher. Also the class itself. I've been in classes where I got along great with the teacher, but the classmates were, yeah, no bueno, so not good at all. So, yeah, that's my advice for you there. Mostly things to stay away from, you know, but I would just try to keep an open mind about systems and teachers, and just be wary of the things I was talking about. And hopefully, if you're looking for a good instructor, then you'll find one. And just till next time, like and subscribe, comment, good, bad comments. I don't care at all. It affects the algorithm. So until next time.